About 1 minute.
Good morning. It's wonderful to see you all this morning. Happy New Year to everyone. As a pastor who served this congregation for many years, and during her time as minister here, the congregation went through profound and wonderful transformations, reaching out to the community in new ways and sharing the pluralistic theology of this place, just grounded in love and care for everyone just as they are, sharing that out in wave after wave through the Spartanburg community and South Carolina upstate and our whole region and beyond. And she rode that wave of love all across our country and beyond. Meg Barnhouse is known to many of us in person and through her music, through her teaching, and she is near the end of her life this morning. We have folks from this congregation who are with her now to accompany her as far as we can go, to care for this guide and friend who has meant so much to so many of us. So I'm going to ask us to just spend a moment in silence, holding Meg and her family, everyone she cares for, and sending her all that love that she has shared with us. Share silence with me. Meg wrote a song based on the writings of another female mystic, a medieval mystic, who, very like Meg, spoke a word of love that seemed impossible in the world and disrupted patriarchy and oppressive religious power and opened people's minds to new possibilities they had not seen before, looking straight into the reality of sickness and death and pain, and speaking a word of assurance that seems completely beyond the scope of reason. But when it hits our hearts, we feel a deeper truth. All will be well, all will be well, and all manner of things shall be well. May it be so.
anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. The strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Shadows surging in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill. Paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose, but some are born to sing the blues. For the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. The strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Shadows surging in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. Don't stop.
Good morning, everyone. I heard so many of you joining Cindy and Ron in the joy of song just there. I invite you all to join me again with hymn number 38 in your gray hymnal, Morning Has Broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird.
Good morning. My name is Annie Collins, and I serve as president of the Board of Trustees here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. Welcome to this sacred place. We're glad you're here. At UUCS, we strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across all of our differences. This is a welcoming congregation where everyone is welcome just as we each are. If you are visiting with us this morning, we would love to meet you. Visitor cards may be found in the pocket of the back of the chair in front of you, so please feel free to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so that we can better connect with you. There's a lot going on, as always. Find the new January Connect in the lobby, look through the one-page weekly calendar in your order of service, and please memorize the weekly happenings. So, thank you to everyone who has made our away home families feel so welcome, especially this holiday season. Everyone has given so much, and the stay here has gone really well. This week we yes. Y'all are awesome. This week we provided space for a third week, and volunteers from the Church of the Advent and still some of our own very dedicated church members staffed the rotation, so thank you all. Are you considering joining the congregation of UUCS? It's great, I highly recommend it. The Path to Membership class is the place to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and our specific congregation. The next class is held today at 12:30 in Wild Hall, down the stairs. Lunch will be served and childcare is available. Even if you haven't signed up yet and you just get a wild hair, come join us. Thank you to everyone who opened the way for UCC and Reverend Mariana Haroldson to host a progressive Christian gathering here last Sunday evening. The event went really well. This is a rich collaboration between regional UCC and our congregation, and this movement is a stream parallel with our monthly humanist meetings and our regular pagan circles, and we'll meet on the first Sunday of each month here in the sanctuary at 4 p.m. As always, everybody is welcome. Speaking of our monthly humanist meeting, we will gather this Wednesday, January 14th at 7 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. Bring your crystal ball. We will be discussing what is coming in 2026. We'll see. Will the resistance triumph over authoritarianism? What will happen in the conflict between China, Taiwan, the US, Venezuela, space exploration, cyber advancements, who knows? Come prepared for thoughtful discussion, nourishing fellowship, and hilarity of striving to be people of reason and responsibility in the absurdity of our world. All right, we also have the MLK Day of Service activities on Monday, January 19th, beginning at 11 a.m. in the Fellowship Hall. There will be several opportunities to serve, such as packing toiletry kits for the homeless and postcard writing, as we kick off our SCUU campaign to pass a state hate crimes law with postcard writing. There are more service projects, including a neighborhood litter pickup for all ages. So if you are able, please help us by parking in the Hatcher House lot and join us for this wonderful day of serving together and moving forward in a legacy of freedom and rights for all. And finally, save the date for our annual fund kickoff on Sunday, January 25th after the service. UUCS is a place of wonder, a place worthy of our gifts. Join our fundraising team in costumed finest to celebrate the sharing of our gifts with our annual fund drive kickoff. We will have a movie matinee with our favorite movie snacks. So come to Wild Hall for a rip-roaring good time, and we will soar into the sky of possibility. All right. Thank you for all you do to make this a place of love, of warmth, and of welcome for you all. Now, I'd like to invite Joyce Harrison to come say a few words about our end-of-life workshop.
Good morning. I am Joyce Harrison, and I'm chair of our church's Pastoral Care Associates. 2 important workshops will be offered on Saturday, February the 7th. The first, from 10 until 11:30, will be about the 5 wishes. The 5 Wishes is a booklet that allows you to specifically spell out your end-of-life preferences. These deal with medical care, but also define what you'd prefer in the way of comfort and spiritual support. Earlier this year, an emergency room doctor, upon reading one of our members' 5 wishes, declared that he wished every ER visitor would present with this booklet. He and other medical staff proceeded to follow that person's directives. We all hope to escape death, but we also know that death comes eventually for all of us. Filling out your 5 wishes when not in emotional crisis, when not in the throes of a medical emergency, is a huge relief. Our pastoral care team, headed by our ministers, feels that the 5 wishes are important, whether we're parents of young children, folks who live alone, or someone who has or expects to deal with health issues. Once notarized, the 5 Wishes becomes a legal document. We will have a notary on hand at the workshop. Consider coming February the 7th at 10 o'clock for this important session. Childcare will be provided if requested, and you can sign up on Sunday mornings before church or after church, or on the whiteboard in the sanctuary foyer. From 12:30 to 2 o'clock on February the 7th, we will also be offering an opportunity for you to plan your own memorial service. That's a sobering thing to do, but once it's done, you feel very confident and very glad that it's done. So doing this, you can have it your way. You can specify the music that you would like, the readings that are meaningful to you. You can designate who you would like to speak at your service. And then you can file your service then with our ministers and provide a copy for your family. This is a wonderful exercise that provides a lot of comfort. Attend one or both sessions on February the 7th and register either before or after church or on the whiteboard in the sanctuary foyer. So we hope that we will see you there and that you will get signed up and find comfort and relief. Thank you.
I'm Cynthia Hall Lanier, your service leader today. And today we're going to do like the chalice, and I invite all of you to say it's the purpose statement that the UUCS voted on by the congregation, and I invite everybody to say it with me. We seek to create a world of mutual thriving for me. Be afraid. Together we strive to build this beloved community, growing in wisdom, care, and justice, service, and open to all. It's from Peter Pan by G.M. Barrie. And we just think lovely thoughts, Peter explained, and they lift us up in the air.
Please join us in hymn number 29 in your gray hymnal, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee.
The Rippling Bowl. At the Rippling Bowl, At the Rippling Bowl, we place a stoner shell in the bowl. The ripples in the water go out, and concerns are lessened, and joys are magnified as the ripples go out. Carol will place a stoner shell for those who are not able to come to the Rippling Bowl. You may come now. We did not have a creed that we say each Sunday. The congregation wrote the covenant that we live by. I invite you all to say it with me, and it can be found on your screen for those watching virtually and in your bulletin. With courage we say, we are a people of faith and hope. Together we covenant, strive to become our better selves, one above the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not be divisive, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of love beyond belief. Now's the time we set aside for each other to greet one another. We set aside this time for this beloved community to greet each other. We ask that you respect each other's space. We ask that everyone be careful because there's a lot of sickness going around. And when Max plays the music, please return to your seats so we can continue the service. Let the holy chaos begin. The offertory, we share our treasures with this beloved community. When the plate is passed, we ask that you share your energy and love in the plate, even if you're not contributing financially. Each month, we share with an organization that is here or in the world. This month, we are sharing with the Martin Luther King Day of Service. Half of the undesignated Sunday offering and Share the Plate offering each month goes to an organization that is dear to our hearts. Martin Luther King Day of Service will take place January the 19th, and the ushers may come forward.
Had a wonderful experience this week. I was on a text thread with a number of folks from this congregation who are part of our annual fund campaign team. All this month we're building towards the launch of our annual fund campaign, which we do every year, and the way we do that is to just talk very transparently about what we're doing and why, and how our goals are things that none of us can achieve alone, but together, somehow we can find our way. It's really a very beautiful process when we just are transparent and honest with each other about it and speak with directness and love about the kind of community that we want to create here. So I was on a text thread with these folks who are giving so much of their time to design this campaign, and they got in a fight. And the fight was about whether or not we should supply wings to the congregation for our annual fund campaign launch. And to be clear, there already are some folks, generally our younger UUs, who will have access to wings, but should the older, younger UUs, you all have access to wings? And people stated reasons for their hesitation, but I think it's air traffic control. And doubt about how responsibly you'll handle flight in this sanctuary. I gotta tell you, I worked in a lot of congregations and I know a lot of really wonderful ministers and pastors all over in many different traditions. Conflict is an inevitable part of congregational life, but it is so wonderful to be in a congregation where the major conflict in the new year is, should we provide wings to everybody or just some people? It's like Raging Bull in here. Share silence with me. Who won? You'll have to come on the 25th to find out. If there are any children here, I would like to invite them to join me down front. Any children who would like to come down front? All right, come and sit in a circle with me. Let's make the circle go all the way around. Can we just bring the circle around? There you go. Perfect. That was perfectly done. That was really good. So good. And we are talking about design today. So what you just did was, once again, exactly right. I'm going to try to do something. I want you to think about what it is I'm trying to do. And when you know, you say it, okay? Right?
I want the new pair of wings that I have.
Oh, you got a pair of wings?
I got a little one.
What am I trying to do?
Fly.
Fly? How's it working?
Well, it's not working.
It's not working?
No, you're not in the
Let's try it. Let's try this. Maybe if I stand up. How about this? How's it going?
You're still not.
What if I bend my knees?
Still not.
I feel so dignified. Does it look good?
Still not flying.
Maybe if I jump. How about this? Yeah.
That's called jumping, and waving your arms around.
Not even a little bit of flying?
Maybe a
Tiny bit of flying? All right, let me ask you a question.
flying.
I was trying to fly.
But you can't do it.
Let me ask you, so I had trouble flying. And if I achieved my goal, it was just for a split second before I came back down to the ground. Can you fly?
No. Yeah.
A bunch of no's and one yeah. How can you fly?
I know. If I put on a special suit and jump off the cliff, I can.
If you put on a special suit and jump off a cliff, you can fly. Please make sure it's the right suit. That's a great answer. And you're right, I've seen videos of that, where people put on a special suit and they can soar. It's like they're flying. Are there any other ways that you can fly?
Jump up from a plane with a parachute.
You can jump out of a plane with a parachute and float through the air.
You can grab a whale suit and then you jump off of a tall building and then you fly through the sky with this whale suit.
We are going to nail the attic ladder shut. Y'all are right. There are ways that people can go up in the air, right? What other ways can we fly?
Like this. Like this.
Does it feel like you're flying when you do that?
Yes.
So there's a feeling that we can have? Any other ways that we can fly?
In your airplane?
In your dreams you can fly, and in an airplane?
Helicopter.
In dreams and airplanes, they don't seem very much alike, but we can fly in both of those, can't we?
I can't control hot air balloon.
In a hot air balloon, you can fly. You know what? I had trouble flying, but you're naming a whole lot of ways that we can fly. So I want to ask you to do one thing with me real quick. It's another way that we can fly. It's not fancy, and thank goodness it doesn't involve jumping off any cliffs or buildings. Will you stand up here beside me? Come stand beside me. It's close to that. Come stand beside me in a little line. Everybody just stand beside me and stretch out so that, stand in a straight line beside me and then stretch out so you can spread your arms all the way out. There you go. And now, just for a minute, just hold your arms out, just close your eyes and feel like you're flying.
I can't. I'm just bending backwards.
Just feel like you're floating. You feel that?
I fell.
So strange that even when we just close our eyes, we feel a little bit dizzy and it feels like we're just lifting off the ground. It's not an airplane and it's not a dream, but it is a wonderful feeling. You all are so good. Let's give yourselves a hand and everybody can go back to their seats. Can you fly? In Minecraft, you can fly. So virtual worlds allow us to fly. Can you fly? Yes? How can you fly? In imagination, you can fly. In dreams, you can fly. If you sit in a metal tube and pay your fee, you can fly. Fly when you're swimming, feels like flying, moving through the water. How can you fly? In an airplane, you can fly in an airplane. On the face of it, the idea that people can fly is unreasonable. You saw me give it my best effort here, and I can tell you it's not the first time I've tried. In fact, I would imagine that if I didn't want to celebrate my birthday, I could just mark every year that I attempted to fly on my own, since I was very, very young. And under my own power, I struggled to achieve the goal. And if we think about the evolution of human being, the idea that people could fly would have been something that remained in the realm of dreams and imagination for a long time. Not even just for many years, but for hundreds of years, thousands of years. The idea that we would be able to lift off the ground and move through the air. People watching clouds, watching birds, watching life move in the air above us, and imagining what that would be like, and lamenting the reality of our own bone density and abundance of hair and total lack of feathers. All those things that make it an impossibility for us to lift off the ground. But a little more reason has found a path. Not an absence of reason or an exceeding of it, but an application of it, taking that dream, that imagination, and working with numbers and experiments until we find the right combination of wing shape and air density and velocity and surface area of a wing to create that magical formula of lift so that people can fly. Or as my dad said to me one day when he picked me up from the airport and we were walking across the parking lot to get into our small metal box on wheels, watching a plane go overhead, he said, "That is amazing that you can put that big bucket of metal and a whole bunch of people and throw it up in the air and it gets where it's supposed to go." I mean, right now as we gather, there will be planes that fly over our heads. We can fly. And it's a combination of our dream, our imagination, our willingness to try and to fail and to try again, to learn from mistakes, to wrestle with concepts no one before us has understood and that many people have naysayed, but that are an elegant mathematical formula when finally realized. And then teams that work together to bring to reality what was first a dream and then an idea and then a plan. We were in a social justice meeting a few years ago, and very rightly, one of our leaders said, "Let's not let perfection get in the way of doing good." And that's true for social justice work. But one of our dedicated church volunteers, who happens to have a PhD in aerospace engineering, said, "There are certain times when perfection is very important, like when you're building an airplane." And another way that we can interpret that is, it takes a lot of teamwork. And people who work from lots of different angles. The engineers, the material designers, the manufacturers, the people doing the construction and the supervisors to be sure the construction's done well, and then thank God the quality control people who go back and check to make sure all the screws are in the door, and the people in the control tower making sure all these metal buckets land and take off safely around each other. It takes a lot of teamwork, a lot of people doing different roles, and none of the roles are the same. But there is a clarity of purpose that helps them work together to do what for millennia human beings thought was impossible. It's a very beautiful reality. That what seems impossible but lives like a waking dream in our heart and pulls us forward may just be possibility waiting to be discovered. That's the challenge to us here. To look at the world with realism, not a false optimism, and not a cynicism that shuts off new paths into the future, but realism that takes the measure of the world and of what this life is, and by combining our gifts, forges a path into the impossible. New fields of reality. That is how Meg Barnhouse has lived. A person who knew very well the measure of the world. As a therapist and a minister and a queer woman living in this country, living in this town. And in conversation with all those people for whom she cared and people who cared for her. She found paths of possibility through what had seemed impossible. And she taught people how to fly. And she learned herself how to fly over boundaries and into hearts, to call people to a greater possibility in their lives. A woman who lives with purpose. A purpose that clarifies all that would hold us back and gives us a path to the future. My dad died a year ago. And he wrote a short essay entitled, "People Die the Way They Live." The deep patterns in our life express themselves once more in the last days of our life. And I think of Meg now, who gave her heart to so many, being held in those hearts today by those who knew her and those who don't. Bringing people impossibly together into a love greater than we've been taught. Calling us to a life unbound by limitations and restrictions. And when a flight instructor like that nears the end of their days here, you can feel them lifting to places we cannot see. Think of wonderful things. That's the way you get your wings. Think of all the joy you'll find when you leave this world behind and bid your cares goodbye. You can fly, you can fly. You can fly, you can fly. You can fly, you can fly. You can fly.
I invite you now to join us in a wonderful folk tune, hymn number 16 in your gray hymnal, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple."
Now we'll extinguish the chalice in the air from Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. We just think lovely, wonderful thoughts, Peter explained, and they lift us up in the air.
Share all your love and wonder with each other. And feel us lift.